Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are dissecting the absolute ultimate video game challenge. We're going to look at what it truly takes to master a game mode where the stakes literally couldn't be higher, and where every single decision carries permanent consequences.
Okay, let's dive into this. 350 million. That's the number of copies Minecraft has sold, making it the best-selling video game of all time. For the vast majority of those players, Minecraft is kind of just a casual, relaxing sandbox. You build, you explore, and if you accidentally fall into a pit of lava, well, you simply respawn and try again. But today, we're focusing on that intense, highly dedicated fraction of players who willingly throw that safety net completely out the window.
We are talking about hardcore mode. This is survival mode locked to the absolute hardest difficulty, with permanent death. There are 0 respawns, no second chances. The sheer gravity of this mode really can't be overstated. A single death, whether that's from getting blasted by a massive dragon or just making a tiny, silly mistake, means the absolute permanent end of your world and everything you've built in it.
Now, with those incredibly high stakes in mind, consider this totally staggering number, 12,000 days. This isn't just a random statistic, right? This is the mind-blowing scale of a legendary community survival run that recently sent massive shockwaves through the player base.
Just to put that into perspective, 12,000 in-game days equals roughly 2 solid years of real-world playing time. This awe-inspiring accomplishment was pulled off by a Reddit user named Antigus. And honestly, the most staggering part? They did the whole thing completely without using a single totem of undying. The one in-game item that usually grants you a second chance at life. So this brings up our central question for today. Mathematically and psychologically, how is a run like this even possible?
To answer that, we structured this explainer as the ultimate survival manual. We'll be looking at 1. The permadeath stakes. 2. The 12,000-day legend. 3. Surviving day 1. 4. Essential gear and enchants. And finally, 5. Avoiding foolish deaths.
Section 1. The permadeath stakes. One mistake, everything is gone.
When you've only got one life, it fundamentally rewires exactly how you approach the game. Permadeath injects massive, sweating bullets tension into normally mundane tasks like farming or mining. Jumping down just one block too far to save a couple of seconds? Yeah, that can permanently delete hundreds of hours of progress. The players who last the longest in hardcore aren't the flashiest fighters. No way. They're the ones who ruthlessly manage risk. Embracing being incredibly boring and hyper-cautious isn't a weakness here. It's absolutely your greatest strength.
Section 2. The 12,000-day legend. A masterclass in survival.
So let's look at the key takeaways from Angus's historic run. Not only did they survive for 2 real-world years without a safety net, but they didn't just cower in a dirt hole either. They built massive mob farms and constructed these incredible megastructures out of obsidian right in the highly dangerous nether dimension. And this brilliantly illustrates a core truth of hardcore. Even after mastering the environment to this ridiculous degree, the player jokingly admitted they still fully expect to eventually die in a stupid way. It just goes to show that the unpredictable nature of the game means survival is literally never fully guaranteed, no matter your skill level.
Section 3. Surviving Day 1. Stabilizing before sunset.
You see, most failed hardcore runs don't actually end in some epic boss battle. They end because of sloppy, rushed decisions made in the very first 10 minutes. So, here is your urgent, non-negotiable checklist. 1. Gather wood. 2. Upgrade to stone tools immediately. 3. Secure a bed. And 4. Build a shelter before sunset. Day 1 is strictly for stabilization, not exploration. You follow this exactly unless your spawn location is just absurdly generous. There's actually a brilliant piece of community wisdom regarding that checklist. It goes, a bed in hardcore is basically a legal document stating you prefer tomorrow. That's funny, sure, but it is dead serious. Sleeping allows you to skip the dangerous nighttime cycle entirely, immediately neutralizing the biggest early game threat out there. Once you actually survive that first night and scrape together a little bit of iron, your top priority absolutely must be a shield. A simple shield is fundamentally better than early iron boots, a fancy sword, or, let's be honest, your own overconfidence. Getting the iron required for a shield ensures your basic survival against surprise attacks from archers or a creeper dropping in out of nowhere. Without it, you're entirely exposed. Section 4. Essential gear and enchants. Preparing for the worst. Surviving the mid-game means mathematically optimizing your armor. Now, for years, the community debated this. Should you mix different specialized protections like blast and fire on your armor, or just use regular protection IV on the whole shebang? Well, according to the game's underlying math, stacking regular protection IV on all 4 armor pieces is vastly superior. Mixing and matching is incredibly inefficient. Just stick to straight protection IV.
Alongside your armor, you're going to need to master alchemy and agriculture. Here are your rapid-fire survival supplies. Steaks, cooked pork chops, and golden carrots provide the absolute best top-tier hunger restoration. But honestly, more importantly, you need to constantly carry potions of fire resistance, slow falling, and instant healing. Believe me, a stack of fire resistance potions will save vastly more runs than raw combat skill ever could.
And please, never underestimate the humble lifesavers, a simple water bucket and a stack of cobblestone. A water bucket can instantly neutralize the deadly pool of lava, it can create a little pool to save you from fatal fall damage, and it even pushes away hostile endermen. Meanwhile, a stack of cobblestone allows you to panic build an unbreakable barricade against ghast fireballs or creeper explosions. These incredibly basic items are absolute inventory staples.
Section 5. Avoiding foolish deaths. Don't let greed end your run. Look, we need to warn you about the repetitive, completely avoidable mistakes that routinely end the very best runs. Taking fall damage just to save a few seconds slowly chips away at your health. Underlighting your base, yeah, that basically turns your safe starter home into a fatal mob rental property. Rushing the nether without fire resistance is just a guaranteed disaster waiting to happen. But the absolute biggest killer? Greed. Going for just one more hit or mining just one more diamond when your health is low.
The crucial takeaway here is summarized perfectly by this rather painful truth. The worst death screen in hardcore is the one you could feel coming. Every single time you cut a corner, ignore a risk, or push your luck, you are actively inviting that screen. In hardcore mode, patience always outlives bravery.
And that brings us to the end of our analysis. We've seen the rigorous strategies, the mathematical optimizations, and the incredibly intense psychological discipline required to conquer this game's hardest challenge. So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Armed with this structured knowledge, do you have the patience to survive for